Hello and welcome, I'm Stormo and this is Street Fighter V. And yeah, I know this game's been around for a month, a bit over a month now. And I'm only getting around to making a video for it now because I wanted to give it a little bit of a chance. There was a patch just this week. In fact, it's happened just hours before I've made this video. And I sort of wanted to wait for this patch to come out before I did a video on it, but unfortunately the patch hasn't actually delivered some of the things I was hoping to put in the video. Namely, the shop, which still isn't available, although I believe it's becoming available either later this week or next week. Basically, the shop will have additional costumes, it will have Alex, and it will have a few other things. So we're going to take a look at the game. I'm mostly going to stick to the offline modes, mostly because I don't think this video would be very interesting if it was just me constantly getting my butt kicked on ranked, which I've attempted. You can see I've got some LP up there. I'm not very good, but I try. So what I thought we might do is just play through some survival while I talk about it, and I'll take a look at the challenge modes and stuff like that as well. We are going to do... Well, I've already done normal survival with Cammy, but she's the only character I'm moderately okay with, so we're going to have a crack at hard survival. But we're probably not going to get very far because the survival mode is crazy. So, you probably noticed just from the menus there and everything else, and if you've been paying attention you would have heard this anyway, Street Fighter V feels very incomplete. The story mode is perfunctory. There is actually no way in single player to get to a second round. Every match, including the ones we're about to do in survival, is a single round, which is just bizarre that happens. But hey, that's how the game works. And pardon me, my voice has decided to go. There we go. Sometimes survival gives you games like that, and sometimes the opposite of that happens, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's no continuing in survival either. It is one of the most infuriating setups. I'm not going to use a supplement because I have no need. Hit yes, damn it. Okay, so yeah, so the story mode is basically 4 short battles intercut with some fairly... I don't really like the art style, but I've heard other people say it's pretty nice, so maybe some people like it and some people don't. I don't know, I'm not a fan. But yeah, story mode is certainly interesting, and, whoops, missed that. Oh well. But the other thing with this game is that, before this patch, it only had a fairly, I don't want to say perfunctory online mode, because the online mode was okay, but it didn't have, it has a battle lounge mode where you can invite your friends over, but it only allowed for 2 players at a time. That's been fixed. You now have 8-player battle lounge. I don't know which one of these things I'm planning to pick. I was too busy. I'll get the attack power one. More damage is more better, right? That's always been my theory.
Ready.
So we'll go with that. So yeah, survival mode is how you unlock different colours for the individual characters. And it's an infuriating mode to play because of the way the AI can just kill you, and there's no continuing, and that seems alright until you realise, I'm not making this up, there's no continues in survival mode, and some of the survival modes, the one I'm doing now, has I think 50 matches. So you have to do 50 matches without losing a single round, and you have to be able to, we're going to get the health recovery this time. You need health recoveries a lot. So you get the 50 rounds, and you have to do health recovery, you have to do all that. You buy it with the points you earn through the fight. This is the only mode that gives you points. There's no arcade mode at all. No, like, just traditional sort of, you know, going through 2-round battles with a bunch of people and doing that. This game does not have that. This is the closest thing it has, and it's only a single round. So, yeah, it's not great. It's actually really problematic because, to be honest, the mode I most want in this game is an arcade mode. That's like, just, it's the most fun mode. It's the most traditional fighting game mode, but more importantly, I think also it serves a purpose separate to the story mode. Like, it's disappointing this game doesn't have, like, a Mortal Kombat or Injustice style story mode, and I feel like that's something that Capcom really should have thought about when they started developing Street Fighter V, that it should have been possible to do that with this game. And I expect that this game was not developed on a huge budget. And that's pretty obvious given that not only is the game running on the Unreal Engine, which means they saved all their money on engine. Oh, it's only low health recovery. So this happens a lot too in survival, where you get a match that was really hard. Okay, that wasn't hard, but sometimes you get a match that was really hard fought, and then your only health recovery option is this one, which is really annoying. But I am going to get health. Pretty much take health recovery anytime you can get the most out of it, I think. Because you always want to keep your health as high as possible. I have to admit, I don't mind the structure of survival mode. I just wish it wasn't the only significant single player mode. And I wish it wasn't the only way to unlock costume colours. I'm using Cammy's purple colour here, which is her colour 6. And it's, yeah, I had to do the normal difficulty, oh, geez, Zangief, seriously? I had to do the normal difficulty to unlock that, and there's, I think, a further 3 that unlock this mode, the hard mode, and then there's one final colour that unlocks with the next mode, which I've completely forgotten the name of because I wasn't paying attention when I picked it on Menu Expert, I think it is. But yeah, anyway, the hardest mode is like 99 fights and you get one colour for doing it, which is... Ain't nobody got time for that. Seriously? Seriously, Capcom? No, nobody's got time for that. Okay, so, let's talk a little bit... That's enough ragging on the game. In fact, no, I hadn't finished the other thing I was going to say. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, that's right. This game feels very much like it was developed on a budget. The use of the Unreal Engine, the lack of a complicated story mode, the very perfunctory early release makes me think that Capcom are hoping for more revenue for development on this game coming in from the store and from early game sales. And unfortunately for Capcom, early game sales have not been great. Although, if I'm honest, probably has a lot to do with the fact that it was pretty obvious before this game came out that it was going to be fairly limited. So I suspect that a lot of players have held off. Buying the game until it's more feature complete. Capcom said they only plan to do one Street Fighter V release, so there'll only be the one game copy that you buy, and then all the updates and everything will be like major updates that will be free, but then you'll have to buy characters and various other things. So it's got this sort of, I guess, what they call freemium. Well, not freemium. What does Jim Sterling call it? Fee to play, I think Jim Sterling calls it. It's going for that kind of a model. So, and I guess I can understand that from Capcom's point of view, because Capcom probably aren't the richest company in the world these days, and I know Sony actually had to dig in money to develop this game, so... By the way, I just want to point out, don't watch this video if you want cool fighting tips on how to play Cammy. I am not doing anything that you should ever do. And if you see me online, you'll know this technique gets me punished pretty badly most of the time. I'm trying to learn, but honestly, I actually haven't played the game in like a month, so I'm still... I'm probably also a bit rusty. I was getting to a point where I was sort of readjusting my technique. And my main problem when I play this game... Oh, geez, see, that's full health recovery there. And it's 25,000 points, and I really need it. I don't need it that much. That recovers like over about 3/4 of my health. So I don't need it, but at the same time, if I don't get it, I might. We're going to take the attack power. We're going to see how we go with the attack power, because this is going to get hairy and scary. Also, Nikali, new character, kind of annoying. Not a fan of Nikali, if I'm honest. There are some cool new characters. Actually, to be honest, the only new character I think I like at all is Rajiv. Nikali and Fang, I think, are both kind of dumb. Fang is especially dumb. I think we'll get to see Fang soon enough. So certainly haven't seen him yet. There are 16 characters at launch, plus Alex, who is the intended main character of Street Fighter 3 coming out soon. Probably not by the time this video goes live. See, I'm going to take that medium health recovery now because of that. And that's just a really annoying way this is structured. We get Cammy v Cammy. So you get to see Cammy's traditional outfit. I talked about this when I made a video about Super Street Fighter 2 a little while ago. Cammy is my favourite Street Fighter character. Part of that was probably because I was like 13 when Super Street Fighter 2 came out. And as teenage boys want to do, they like looking at attractive young women. And Cammy was the attractivest. Oh! Speaking of attractive, that's what I haven't been doing. Oh, I haven't been able to yet, but oh, I'm getting my butt kicked. You know what's happening? I keep thinking I'm green Cammy. That's what's happened there. Okay, almost got it. Oh, but she's almost got me. I really hope there's a full health recovery after that fight. See, I bet there'll be a low health recovery now. So that wasn't really the AI kind of jumping me over. That was just me. Oh, full health recovery. Phew. Oh, wow. That was lucky. That was super, super lucky. Here's Fang. He's one of the other new characters. He's kind of annoying. Has this poison attack, though, that's actually really cool. Which, yeah, see there. So he poisons you, which does damage over time, which is sort of a new effect in the Street Fighter universe. That's not going to work. So I just want to point out, yeah, I like to play Cammy. I like her. I feel like she's a character that rewards a very aggressive playstyle, and as you can probably tell, I tend to be very aggressive. Which generally doesn't work out so well against anyone who knows what they're doing, but if you're just a random button masher, I will probably beat you. But yeah, my strategy mostly consists of doing as many counter spikes as possible, and trying to win. Although I am getting better. As I said, I haven't played in about a month now. So I am getting a bit better at mixing my fighting up and learning more about how to... I'm going to have to take that full health again. Learning more about how to use all the tools at Cammy's disposal. The main reason I started that was back in Street Fighter 4, I was like, oh, I don't know how to do any moves. And then I figured out that I could do cannon spikes, and I did alright with it, and I just sort of decided to focus on doing that. So it's kind of like how, in the storyline of Street Fighter, Ken focuses on like his Dragon Punch. Oh, that was bad. It also doesn't help, the AI doesn't really teach you various... Oh, hang on, let me show you something. If Ryu... Oh, bloody hell, there, that's what I want to show. Okay, so Cammy's V skill, every character has a V skill in this game, which is, oh, no. Oh, it missed, everything missed, everything's gone bad. So the V skill is you press the medium punch and medium kick buttons at the same time, and you can do... Well, in Cammy's case, you do that attack. You also have V-Trigger, which is this, which does different things depending on your character. In my case, it powers up her special moves so that they hit more frequently and do more damage. And of course, there's your EX moves and critical attacks. And see, there's the low health recovery. That's the problem. So I'm going to have to take that low health recovery, even though I really, really need more health than this, because I'm getting stomped by Bison, probably. There we go. Oh, we're doing okay. We're doing okay so far. If I can get through this fight without taking too much damage, and see, my problem is that I don't block enough. As you probably noticed if you know anything about this game, I am terrible at... Oh, this is it. This is where it'll end. I don't block enough. I probably jump too much. See, I copped all that, and I did not need to cop all that. So there we go. That's going to be the end of that survival run. I was doing all right, but yeah, sometimes you just get caught in a situation you can't do much about. Also, trying to concentrate on talking as well, I think, is a little bit fun. We're not going to retry from the start. We're not going to return to the character select. We're going to extreme. That was the final difficulty. So yeah. I have a look. The new thing in this patch is the challenges. And it's trials and demonstrations. Trials is basically... I've done a couple of the Cammy trials, but I'll start at the beginning of Cammy again. Now, I'm doing this on a controller, and I'm not very good, so it'll probably take me a few tries to get these. But the trials basically, yeah, it's basically test stage, which I have to admit, I agree with some other Street Fighter V players. This stage needs to go away. just go away. I understand its purpose, but in general, I don't think it has... I don't think it's great for the game. I think outside of this mode, it shouldn't even be available as a choice. Outside of the training mode and the basic modes, like playing against other players online, you should never encounter this stage, for example. So I think that's a bad idea. So I'll just talk a little bit about this mode. So there's a couple of things. So you have the option of changing the challenges to anyone you've done. We're going to start with challenge 1 because it's the easiest. You can automatically progress or repeat them. You can display commands or move names. So instead of that, so you can now see I've got jumping, heavy, crouching, medium, heavy, medium, messed it up. Okay. Heavy, medium, and not that. Heavy, medium. You know, I did it then. I actually did it then, but I'm messing it up too much. Okay. And you'll know you've messed it up because he'll block you the moment you do it wrong. There we go. Okay. So that one did okay. This one is a little bit harder. I'll go back to using the display move names because for me that's actually easier. Like, I know the inputs to the moves, so it doesn't bother me that much. This one, I had a lot of trouble getting the first time, but yeah, it's basically that. Oh, no. That. Why did I kick? That, and that. That. Damn it. There we go. So that's what that was. And yeah, so these are basically the trials. This is the one I've had the hardest trouble with because I'm just terrible at it, so I'm not going to torture you with me trying to figure that one out because anything more than about 3 moves I struggle with. It's fine when I'm doing it in battle and I'm just not focusing on what I've got to do, but in those trials, and I found the same thing with the trials in Street Fighter 4 as well, it was quite difficult to do, so I don't think there's anything wrong with the story. But yeah, you've got... Oh, there's actually a tutorial. Was that there before? I don't remember that being there before. The other thing you have in Challenge 2 is demonstrations, which I actually haven't had a look at, but... okay, so it's just telling you... Yeah, okay, so... Yeah, it's sort of... Okay, so... interesting. Just wondering... yeah, let's have a look at that and see what it gives us. Because I don't know what the demonstrations are. I haven't actually really looked at that, so I'm guessing this is just going to show... yeah, so it's going to explain how projectile invincibility works. And it's using Zangief, because of course he has a very easy move that you can do. And I know what Zangief's one is, so... okay, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay, hang on, I skipped... okay. Just let it happen. There we go. So that's what it is. Sorry, I was not paying attention and I was assuming at some point I was going to interact. And I realise now that it's a demonstration, so that doesn't make any sense. So, yeah. So this is what the demonstrations are. So we'll back out of that for the moment. But yeah, the one thing I haven't talked about yet, and the one thing I really should talk about, because it's the reason to really play this game and why this game is actually good, is that the fighting is freaking fantastic. I might try and get... no, I don't want to do online. There's no way to do anything else. Like, Versus mode doesn't have a Versus CPU option. You cannot do Versus CPU in Versus mode, which is dumb, pretty much. So yeah, you've only got the option of ranked or casual, and I'm not going to wait around to try and find a game right now. But yeah, the fighting is solid as hell. The actual mechanics and everything feel really good. The game feels really nice. The new mechanics, the change-ups from Street Fighter 4, where they've intentionally tried to make it a less sort of combo-focused game. Apparently one of the big issues with Street Fighter 4 was that it relied on some very technical stuff like focus attack, dash cancels and things like that, and it made the bar for entry to the game very high, which meant that new players couldn't catch up to players who've been playing for a long time. because of the fact that they needed to learn these techniques to get anywhere, and these techniques were pretty advanced. Street Fighter V eliminates a lot of that. I'm sure there'll be techniques that become advanced later, but this game feels very much more like it's about what you're actually doing in the fight rather than knowing the correct moves to do certain things in the fight, which I think is a much better idea. What should I do? We will... I don't really want to do a ranked match. Not on video anyway. Maybe I'll do a separate video where I just do a bunch of ranked matches or something, but I'm certainly not going to do them now. I've actually sort of said all I want to say about the game, to be honest. Like I say, aside from all the stuff I said that was pretty negative about it, I think Street Fighter V is a very solid fighting game, and I really hope Capcom puts a lot more effort into it over the coming months to sort of make it a complete experience, because right now it's not a complete experience, and Capcom have a responsibility, I think, to the players and to the fans of the game and to the whole fighting game community more generally, to build this game into a game that we can all love and get huge amounts of time out of. And right now, it's not there, but I don't see any reason why it can't get there over the next few months, next year or so even, maybe. If Capcom's plan is, as they've said, to make this the only version of Street Fighter V, then they're really going to have to buckle down and get it done. But right now you've got a solid fighting game with not much hanging around it. So, yeah, it's good fun though. When you get into the fights, you get a string of ranked matches and all that, and there are problems with ranked at the moment because of rage quitting and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, when you get good games, it feels really good. It's good fun, and it just needs more to keep people coming back to it. So yeah, that's Street Fighter V. That's... After the patch, the shop will open soon enough. There'll be costumes and all that kind of stuff, and I feel it can only get better. So yeah, that's all my thoughts on it. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.